So the World Cup has started. I am sure all of you are looking forward to the India-Pakistan game, especially after the start that India has had. But the World Cup really hasn't kicked off for Pakistan, not in terms of cricket. Of course, they've played their first game, already won that versus Netherlands. Will be playing their second game today versus Sri Lanka. But for Pakistan fans and Pakistan journalists, it's not really kick-started. When I say not kick-started, because they are yet to get any visa for India, and that has been an issue. Now, there are about what I've learnt, and I've been speaking to a few Pakistani journalists as well, and they've been trying to get information from us, and I think it's very unfortunate because Pakistan has already played one match. Imagine the Pakistani journalists not being able to come here and cover that. There are about 60 odd journalists, I've checked with the ICC, about 60 odd journalists that have got the accreditation from the International Cricket Council. Usually, once you're accredited by a body like, let's say, the International Cricket Council, like when I get accreditation, let's say for FIFA World Cup, the Olympic Games, whatever, then when I apply for my visa to whichever country I'm going to cover, it becomes easy and you get the visa. It's not a guarantee because, of course, the governments will do their due diligence, but it becomes easy to get the visa. Right now, out of those 60 journalists, not a single one of them have got the visa for India, and this despite the fact that Pakistan already played one game, will be playing their second game today. So already 2 games have happened, and imagine not a single journalist being able to come here and cover the game. Right now, what they are having to do is send their questions by WhatsApp to the media manager here, and then through WhatsApp he's asking those questions in the press conference, and then they are getting the videos, and that's how you're using it. And that's not an ideal situation, and I say that not as an Indian or a Pakistani, but as a journalist. If I was to be covering the Indian team, if they've traveled to Pakistan, I would hope that we would get the visas. There have been times where Indian teams have traveled to Pakistan and Indian journalists have got the visas. There have also been time where Pakistan journalists have been given visas to travel to India. Last time it was 2016 for the T20 World Cup that Pakistan team came here and played. That time I know a lot of Pakistani journalists got the visas. In fact, 250 visas were even given to the fans, and they were city specific visas. So Pakistan played in Kolkata and Mohali, and just for these 2 venues, their journalists and fans got the visa. And I would hope from the authorities that a similar courtesy extended even now, because you're the host. Again, I'm not an expert in how or which way the visas are given. I'm sure the government will do their due diligence, and they should. And even not so much about fans. I think for journalists at least, you should allow. If 60 have been accredited, you can do their background verification and check if they have been covering cricket for a long time. At least some of them should be allowed to come and cover the games. At least that is what I would expect if I was to travel to Pakistan. Similar issues were faced by the Pakistan team. They got their visas about 48 hours before they were to come to India, but they got their visas eventually. That hasn't happened for journalists, and that's not an ideal situation as we speak at the moment. Fans, we do not know. Maybe fans do not get any sort of visas. I think there is only one Pakistani fan who has been able to come here. They call him Chacha. If you know, you must have seen him. But he is of Pakistan origin, but actually holds a American passport. So he has been the only fan that has come in. I do not know whether more Pakistani fans will come in, and I kind of agree that because of the geopolitical situation between India and Pakistan, it may not be easy for the Indian government to give a lot of Pakistani fans visas, which is fine, which is understandable, but at least journalists for whom you can do a background check, find out that they have been journalists covering cricket for very long, at least they should be allowed. I know that when Indian journalists traveled to Pakistan in 2004 and 6, they were not allowed to take their camera person. Camera person were given from the Pakistan side, but the video journalists could travel. Maybe a certain, just in that sense, if you want to monitor the kind of work that journalists are doing, which even Pakistan does. So even if the Indian government, and the Indian government would be right if they want to do that, you could probably come up with these sort of conditions, but at least give them visas. What has Pakistan been able to do? Zaka Ashraf, the PCB chairman, has spoken to the Pakistan Foreign Secretary and told them to speak to the Indian government and expedite the visa for the journalist and maybe a handful of fans. We've not heard from the Indian Home Ministry as yet as to what they are planning to do. Will they be giving visas at all to fans? Will they be giving visas to the journalists? We do not know. PCB has also spoken to the ICC, and ICC is also trying, but as you know, government procedures have to be followed, and I think that is what the Indian government will also do. But the situation, as I mentioned, is not ideal to have a team that is here and not have their journalist report and then report it back to the people. Fans, as I said earlier, also understandable. You have to be very careful when you give visas. Maybe a few journalists could be given that. Do let us know what you think on this matter. As I said, I do not want to make it political. Just keeping in mind, political discussions have been done where India has refused to go to Pakistan till a tough stance or steps are taken by Pakistan to ensure there is no cross-border terrorism. All of those things have been done. India has refused to go there. You remember the Asia Cup has also moved, and we've been very supportive of all of those things. But now that you're the hosts of the World Cup, you're hosting it, you will have to extend that courtesy to allow a few journalists to come here and then cover the World Cup. Do let us know what you think on this matter. And yes, for more such content, it's World Cup time. I'm enjoying a game, and I'm sure you are too. It's World Cup time. For more such content, don't forget to subscribe to Sports Today.